Good day, fuckos. I want to bash my head against the wall. Why? Because I've drank my 5th energy drink today. And holy fucking shit, the amount of energy coursing through my veins is absolutely absurd. So today's video, we're back with Payday 3. Why with Payday 3? Why the fuck not? I got bored, and so here it is. So, today we're going to be talking about the 2 overkill weapons that has been released with the launch of Payday 3. Those being the Mamba 6 grenade launcher. Mamba 6? I don't fucking know the full name. The names in Payday 3 are just like absolutely absurd. Like, just give them a nickname. Not just like absurd like names. Like, look, the DMR, the MK14, is named like the SA144, whatever the fuck the name is. And so, like, I just don't really like how games just, like, make up fake names, just put, like, random-ass letters. Just give them, like, a nickname, like a Bison or an Eagle rifle or whatever the fuck. But I'm getting out of topic again, like I always do. Today we're going to be talking about the 2 overkill weapons that the player has in their disposal. The Mamba grenade launcher and the Fox sniper rifle. And I will be talking about what their purpose is, and how you should be using them, and when you should be using them. Enjoy! So first let's talk about the Mamba grenade launcher. The Mamba grenade launcher is a grenade launcher that holds 6 grenades in and 6 in reverse. So you can technically shoot 12 grenades in total. And so, unlike in Payday 2, where it immediately explodes every time it hits anything, whether it be a person or a wall, even at point-blank range, the Mamba has an arming distance, meaning it takes some time for it to explode. It doesn't immediately explode whenever you hit a wall, so it does take some time for it to explode, because you need to sort of think of it as a grenade. Like, you're actually throwing like a grenade instead of something that's like instant exploding. Like, it's not something that instantly explodes unless you have a specific skill tree. And so, is the Mamba grenade launcher any good? Well, it kind of depends on like what type of map you're playing. If you're playing in a really close range the type of map, like say Rock to Cradle, Dirty Ice, and etc., the grenade launcher is not very effective because of its extremely high explosion radius. And I don't know where the fuck Shade got this grenade launcher exactly, because she must have gotten this from fucking Kim Jong-un, because I swear to god, that explosion radius on the grenade launcher is absolutely absurd. Like, I'm not exactly sure what's the maximum distance you have to be in order to not take damage, but trust me when I say this,
gremlin.
the explosion radius is fucking batshit crazy, because, like, it doesn't matter how far or like how close you are, you're going to get hit by it eventually. That's how absurd the explosion radius is. But I'm getting out of topic. So, the Mamba grenade launcher is capable of getting rid of large hordes of cops in a very short duration. However, because of its extremely high explosion radius, you're gonna have to be very cautious of where you shoot this, because you will be able to kill civilians easily or even damage yourself. Because do not underestimate the damage, because 2 grenades is enough to break your heavily armored. Like, even the heaviest armor is not even safe from it, because 2 grenades is enough to literally get rid of 90% of the bars. And so you have to be extremely cautious of where you shoot it. And so, the grenade launcher itself is not exactly effective because of its extremely high explosion radius, because there will be certain times where you will instantly kill a common enemy, and on certain occasions you won't insta-kill them. However, if the grenade does hit a enemy, like a direct impact, then it will automatically explode whether you were literally in their face or at a long distance, which is very weird, but I'm not gonna question it nonetheless. And so, what about this skill trees? Does any sort of skill trees have any impact on this weapon? Yes. The overcooked skill tree that allows every explosion to explode immediately instead of being on a timer, it affects it. It just basically makes it where there is no arming distance on the weapon, and so it will immediately blow up, whether it was whether you shot it at a wall or whatever. And so you can either make this as extremely powerful tool to clear out hordes, or you can use this as a way to get rid of a bulldozer's armor, because the Mamba grenade launcher is extremely weak against dozers, because the bulldozer takes a has a damage resistance against explosives. However, it is effective at getting rid of their armor plating, so it does have its uses. However, I would highly suggest not using it. And so, should you be using this? Well, it's really hard to say because majority of the maps in Payday 3 are like somewhat open, and so it's gonna be a little bit tough for you to clear out a whole horde. But if you're playing in a very tight area and you have a skill that like consumes your grid in order to like prevent any explosion or like self-damaging, then I guess use it on close range map. But I would highly suggest like stay away from this grenade launcher because of its capability of killing you, because it's literally hurting you more than helping you. And the problem is, the reload is so fucking slow. It's like, I don't really understand why the character doesn't just like immediately unload all of them at instant, instead of just like getting rid of the spent one and then putting a new one and then just keep going. But hey, the reload is extremely slow, and don't even bother like use this. It's like, it does have its few uses here and there, don't get me wrong, but you have to be very careful with where you shoot this, because if you use this thing incorrectly, you're gonna be fucking killing yourself more often than killing enemies. And so the only changes I would really make to this grenade launcher is just simply make the explosion radius smaller and the self-mitigating damage to be reduced. So you, even if you do fuck it up, you're not like harming yourself more. And so, as an overkill weapon, it's not exactly great. It's probably one of the worst so far. Don't get me wrong, if used correctly, it is capable of really cleaning a whole room, or like a hordes of enemies very easily. But it's just like, you have to be very careful of where you shoot this. And that's pretty much it. Let's talk about the Fox Sniper Rifle. It is a much more better weapon than the Mamba, but hey. You have to be, I think, at approximately level 44 in order to be unlocking this. And so, what is exactly different from this? Why do you have a sniper rifle as an overkill weapon? Few things. The Fox Sniper Rifle is a anti-material rifle, meaning it is capable of piercing through almost any material in the game. I say almost because there's like certain walls where you, for some reason, cannot really pierce through, but we're not going to talk about that. The Fox Sniper Rifle is capable of insta-killing enemies no matter how much health they have, including bulldozers. Well, you're able to two-shot bulldozers, even at the highest difficulty. And so, the sniper rifle is best off to clear hordes of enemies that are like very crowded up together, because it is also capable of piercing through the shield. And you can also like hit multiple targets with one singular bullet. And another thing that the sniper rifle has is a thermal scope. And if you have like a smoke grenade with you, or a grenadier throws a toxic gas grenade, you can use the sniper rifle's scope in order to see through the enemies. And so, but you only have like at least 20 bullets total, 5 in the bullet and 15 or 10 in reserve. And so you have to be very cautious of like where you're aiming, because the reload is a little bit slower. But trust me when I say this, if you give this to someone that has a very good aim, they will be able to literally get rid of any enemy coming towards you, because no matter what enemy it is, it will always one-shot them. Or two-shot a bulldozer. It will completely ignore any armor they have. You can literally shoot them in the feet twice and they'll die from it. That's how powerful the sniper rifle is. And so, the difference between the Mamba and the Fox grenade launcher is the Mamba is more focused on getting rid of enemies that are like very crowded up together, or in like a huge crowd. Meanwhile, the Fox grenade launcher is better at longer ranges, or taking care of bulldozers very easily, because you need to waste a lot of bullets in the bulldozer's face in order to get rid of them, because they are very aggressive, and they will do their best to close a gap between you, because once a bulldozer gets close to you, their powerful shotgun is able to rip the heaviest armor in like seconds. So having a sniper rifle that is capable of killing them in 2 shots is extremely effective. And the hipfire spread of the Fox Sniper Rifle is extremely effective. You can literally use this even at close range without having any issues whatsoever. But I would highly suggest like having one as a backup weapon, because you never know when a bulldozer is going to be coming around. Even if Shade does say that the bulldozer is coming, you don't know where they're coming from. So you're like constantly looking around and it's like praying to God that they come from like a wide open space. And the Fox's sniper rifle is also capable of seeing enemies through walls, because it has a really questionable thermal scope. I don't know if this is even a real thing, or if this is a real optic sight in real life, but correct me in the comments. The Fox Sniper Rifle, despite having a thermal scope, it is also capable of seeing enemies through the wall. And so, this gives you enough time to like optimize your aim and hit them through the wall if you can, of course. But I will highly suggest not always shooting them through the wall because of the limited ammo you have. And that's pretty much it. In short, the difference between the Mamba and the Fox, the Mamba is more focused on clearing out hordes of cops that are like crowded up together, or getting rid of Bulldozer's armor. Meanwhile, the Fox Sniper Rifle is capable of killing enemies in a very large distance with only one bullet. Give this to someone that can aim extremely well, and you got yourself someone that is capable of deleting any cop that dares to come close, and even bulldozers. And so when you should be calling in these overkill weapons, or like when you should be using them. For the Mamba, always keep one next to you. Do not like immediately just like start shooting grenades randomly out of fucking nowhere, because haha, funny dopamine shit. Use it whenever there's like a hordes of enemies in the distance, and you know you're not gonna hurt yourself. So just like keep one next to you as like an emergency sake. And the same thing applies to the Fox Sniper Rifle. You can use one to like clear out hordes of enemies, sure, but always have one as a backup to get rid of bulldozers extremely easily. Because, as I said in my video, bulldozer is an extremely threatening enemy that you do not want to fuck around with. Unlike in Payday 2, where they were just like a fucking toy that you could play around with and get rid of them in a second. In the third game, they're an actual dangerous threat if not dealt with quick enough. And so, always keep one as an emergency weapon. So in short, use the Mamba grenade launcher for hordes of enemies, and the Fox for bulldozers or enemies that are like further away, and shields. And that's pretty much it. Should you be using any sort of skills with these weapons? Like getting some extra skills? Particularly no, to say at least. For this Fox Sniper Rifle, you don't need any skills to like improve it, it's already good enough. But for the Mamba grenade launcher, if you want it to be extremely effective, I would say grab these skills that I'm going to be listing. On the Demolitionist skill tree, I would highly suggest grabbing Blast Shield, the one where it consumes your grid in exchange to prevent any damage from the explosion, so you don't kill yourself more easily. And grab the Overcooked one, the one that allows the grenades to instantly explode no matter what surface it hits. And I would also, if you want, maybe suggest getting the Demolitionist skill, the one where it provides a 20% increase on the area of effect, basically increasing their explosion radius. But I would highly suggest not grabbing this because the grenade launcher's fucking explosion radius on default is already massive, so I would suggest not grabbing this. So that's pretty much it actually. There's really not much else to really talk about the two overkill weapons, but these are just my opinion. The Fox Sniper Rifle is a far more superior weapon because of it's capable of deleting bulldozers extremely easily. However, my opinion might change in the future depending if Overkill decides to change the overkill weapons, but for now these are the ones I'm going to be talking about, or I talked about. And there's really not much else to really say. I hope you enjoyed the video. It may seem a very shorter video because there's really not much else to really talk about. My next Payday 3 video is going to be a challenge, to say at least, and that challenge is completing a specific heist without even masking up. People might have already done this, but hey, I enjoy a little bit of challenge myself and giving myself a lot of anger issues. And that's about it. There's really not much else to really talk about, and for some of you might be thinking, what is my current opinion on the Payday 3 situation, the one where they delayed the patch that was supposed to come out in October the 5th. I don't really care. That's it. I don't really care, honestly. It's like, I'm okay with the current state of Payday 3. The game is fun for me still. It's like, even if people disagree the fact that the game is in a horde situation, for me the game is in an okay state. It's in a pretty good spot, but at the same time, it's not in a great spot. I understand a lot of people are like angry about the fact that the patches has gotten delayed and shit. There's like some people are like fucking batshit insane. And it's like I've seen a lot of people on Twitter, especially, where it's like, even if there's one specific person that genuinely enjoys the game, there's always gonna be that one degenerate around the corner that's just like, no, you don't enjoy the game. No, the game is in horror state. How dare you have fun playing a game that I hate? It's like, leave the man alone, for fuck's sakes. If he enjoys it, he enjoys it. The same thing for me. It's like, I enjoy the game. I love playing Payday 3. It's a game that I absolutely love playing. I love it more than Payday 2. Don't get me wrong, Payday 2 is still a good game, but I prefer the third one much more. And yeah. Sorry if I got a little bit out of topic, but I just wanted to give out my current opinion on the current state of Payday 3. It's in an okay state. That's all I can say so far. And yeah. I don't really have anything else to say. Hope you all have a great fucking day. And remember, do not trust an Eastern European in the internet. Because who knows? I will be able to leak your information. Like, look at this. I found your